Come and talk to me, little baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in.
Tell me what's going on lately.
Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Hey, Tavish, what we talking about? Let's talk about love. Talk about sex. Talk about us. Tell me what's next. Let's talk about it. Ooh, ooh. Let's talk about it. Ooh, tell me everything you want. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you need to know. You don't wanna miss what's going on. Ooh, ooh. Let's talk about it.
Yo. Jazzy Fizzle. Javon DeWan.
Let's talk about it.
Slime, I hear you, baby. Tell me everything.
Let's talk about it.
Welcome back, baby. We back. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hey.
No other. You know what it is. What's up, Finzel? How you doing today, brother? Whoa, good to see you. My Quinn in the building. D.C in the building. What's up, Teasy? What's up, Kate? This is what it is. This is called the men's edition. Real men edition. We ain't got nothing but men in here. We're gonna talk about all type of things, politics. We're gonna talk about sex. We're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about anything that comes up. But this is the men edition. So, ladies, you want to make sure that you tune in and really pay attention to this one. Let's talk about it like no other. Introduce yourself, DC.
Yo, I'm DC, musician, producer. Just love conversation and provoking, moving the culture forward through conversation and thought. Let's get it.
One of our special guests, Mr. Q. I call him Quinn, the magic man on the microphone. Y'all gonna see why in a minute. Go ahead.
What's going on? My name is Quinn, of course. Singer-songwriter. I won't say producer. Lover of people.
Yeah.
And defender of all things good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
My brother T, introduce yourself, my brother.
Yeah, what's going on? Your boy Lil T, TV, Southside Chicago representative. You know I gotta do it, you know what I mean? Rapper, songwriter, you know what I'm saying? Just all around artist, you know what I mean? Bringing the vibes.
Talk to me.
KC, the producer, engineer, mixer, fucking whatever else you want to call me. Anything in music, I do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Jazzy Finzel, Burgundy, Obama Luther King Jr., Jackson 5 the First, the longest and the strongest name in the business. You know what I'm talking about? It speaks for itself sometimes. Over 150 gold and platinum records sold, if I do say so myself. Fizzle.
yes, sir.
Yes. I love y'all.
Yeah, we
I
love
do.
you.
I really do.
Your bro, Javon DeWan, TV, film, you know, artist, developer, the stars. I work with everybody that you love. So I ain't got to name no names. You think about who you love, I did it. I ain't cool.
Hey, let's get it. Hey.
So we're going to jump right into it, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Before we even get into the relationship things that I know women want to talk about,
Yeah.
I knew that y'all was in the back. Let's talk about how important it is about politics and also the things that we talk about the mayor and the things. I know Dre all day is working, trying to become the next mayor and the things that's happening in Atlanta and how important it is because seeing raises out. So tell me, besides, going to vote for, the president, because a lot of people do that, a lot of people don't. How important is it to go vote for the mayor and the governor that's in your city, Quinn?
Oh, man, I mean, it's the most important, it's the most important vote you can cast. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, if you live in a city and the stuff that's happening in your city is being impacted by the things that happen by, with state legislators, with the mayor, with the chief of police, with the district attorney. Those are all people that, well, not the chief of police, but those are people that you have an opportunity to vote for.
Yeah.
You can impact all of those things. So if you choose not to involve yourself in that process, then you're shortchanging yourself. And that's what a lot of people have been honestly doing in Atlanta. We had over 200,000 people. 200,000 people who didn't fucking vote. In the city. We had 524,000 people in this city, and over 200,000 of them decided not to vote. So beyond the mayor, beyond anybody that you choose to vote for, and I have a preference there, and I know that we should vote for certain people, but that's beyond. But the fact that you don't get out and have your voice heard, I mean, that's you playing yourself. Period. I mean, that's as simple as we can make it.
So, do y'all really think the vote counts? Because I know a lot of people talk about my vote not gonna count anyway, so it ain't no use of me voting. Shit. Do y'all really feel that the vote counts?
I mean, well, they say it do.
Now I said, do you really feel that the vote counts?
I mean, personally,
Yes.
yes.
You do.
I do. I personally do, but I can understand why a person does not. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because a person could do so much and feel, it's that whole thing where I'm praying to God and he still hasn't answered my prayers type of thing. You know what I mean? I'm doing all this, I'm voting this, I'm going to rallies and supporting my candidates, even though I'm voting for candidates that I don't necessarily agree with, but this is what I have. This is my, the cards I'm dealt with. So a lot of people feel their voices aren't heard and their vote doesn't matter. Even if they do matter, even if they do vote, it's still never what they want anyway. So they just tallying up the votes. Really, they just voting to be voting. That's what most people believe. But in my opinion, I feel like it definitely counts for sure.
Can I address that real quick? Because that needs to be addressed. So I understand why people feel the way that they do about that part of the process as well. But what we have to consider, not to get too deep,
for sure.
But what we don't consider is we don't do the shit right. We don't do it right. We never consider that the shit that we're doing, the way that we're going about doing it, we don't do correctly. So the way politics rewards groups, not individuals. So you can vote your individual conscience, you can vote your individual whatever, as long as you want to, it's not gonna mean shit. You know why? Unless it's in alignment with a group of people who all feel the same way you do. That's the only way it makes any difference.
Like a judge and jury, if you will.
So the bottom line is this, to make it real short. We all have individual shit that we all care about. Right?
Yeah.
We all
Talk
do.
about it.
But there are things that impact us all universally together. So the way that we impact that is that we have to figure out what needs to be addressed on that tier of government. Because there's three. We have federal, we got state, we got local. So most people only know about the federal, only address the federal level.
Exactly.
But that's not the one that impacts you the most. It's the one where you right here, where you at.
Right.
That's good. You still have to participate in that, but this is the most important one because that's what impacts you immediately. So we have to find out federal, state, or level what impacts us on those tiers of government.
State.
Whichever one, it don't matter. If you're voting in the general election for the president, let's talk about what the federal government can control that impacts you.
Exactly.
If you vote on the state level, you vote what impacts you on the state level and make sure that you're being heard. But if you're not doing it together, together, if you ain't doing it together, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
We got to figure out but that also requires being educated about what's on that tier of government and what that can do for you. That's it.
And that's the thing.
It's not even hard.
It takes work though.
It does.
And a lot of people don't want to put in the work. And to be an informed voter, you have to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? You have to put in the work to understand how your city runs. You have to put in the work to understand how your state runs. You have to put in the work to understand how the federal government runs. And that's where we, become ignorant voters. And we just vote on our feelings. And you don't feel like your vote counts, even though it counts. Or may not count in some situations, but either way, it counts, and they're making decisions based on that vote. But we have to be informed voters.
You know what we got to get over? We have to get over ourselves. I'm gonna tell you what we got to get. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, real quick. There was a man who ran for governor in Florida. His name is Andrew Gillum. Right?
Yep.
This is gonna get controversial.
Let's get it.
A lot of people talking about him.
I'm with it.
Let's get
So
it.
talk
what
about
we here
Andrew
for.
Gillum.
That's what
Talk
we're
about
here
Andrew Gillum. So they caught Andrew Gillum in a very compromising position.
Absolutely.
In a hotel with
Yeah.
some things going on.
Yeah.
So,
What was going on?
well, he was in the hotel. He had been messing with some cat in the hotel. Some people believe he was set up. I believe that may have been the case too, because he was running against who's the governor now, who's a fucking idiot. But that being what it is, he was running against him. They played politics well. They caught him literally with his pants down. So no matter what happened there, somebody asked me once. He said, and specifying this is black folks, like, yo, would you vote for Andrew Gillum knowing that he did all of that? He did this with this. He apparently was gay, and he wasn't telling nobody. He doing this and he doing crazy stuff. I'm like, Andrew Gillum's a hell of a politician. Have you ever heard anything he did prior to any of that? You know what his platform is? Of course I fucking vote for him. Are you nuts? Why wouldn't I? If he was somebody who was running for a Congress seat, if I was in his state, of course I'm gonna vote for him. You know why? Because politics is not personal. even though it impacts personal shit.
Yeah, he was
It's not
judged on a
personal.
personal preference of his that
But
was
we gotta
exposed.
stop fucking doing that. We gotta stop doing that.
But you'll never get, well, I'm not gonna say you're not gonna get away from it, but you gotta understand it's 150 years of people being, manipulated into believing
There's no question about it.
that
You're right.
politics is personal.
That's very
Now,
true.
And
it does fall on personal.
And you know what's
lines.
crazy?
It can impact
You know what's crazy? And a lot of people in the homophobia world, you know what I'm saying, kind of don't even understand that you are enjoying a bunch of programs every day that you see that are done by a gay community
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you love, that you
Right.
revere to be great. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know it
Right.
because of the ignorance. You just you put that out front, and it's a total judgmental, and it's false. It ain't cool.
We have to stop issuing these purity tests for people.
Yeah.
Like everybody has to be pristine and pure, and we always have this issue of
None
people
of us
being
are.
corrupt. People are they're corrupt. The politics is corrupt.
The world
Get
is
over
corrupt.
it.
The world is corrupt.
It's mass media though.
And
I mean, in general, like that's what they do to control populations. They put the mass media out there. If they tell you this guy's a bad person, they constantly tell you this guy's a bad person. Sooner or later, you're gonna start believing in your head this guy's a bad person.
Right.
Nigga neglecting all the good shit that he's done. Cause we only see what's in the fucking forefront of us. That's the microwave effect. We only see the 30 seconds of the shit that this guy's a bad person. What's going on today and what happened the next day. Like they don't care about the shit that happened and how good of a person is. They only care about what's happening right now.
And what
that's
do I fucking
kills
care who he is? What can you do for me?
And I hate this. I want
That's
to.
all I
I want
need.
to expound on that. Right? It's very important because the stereotypes of life, what you're talking about, and the media. I heard Stevie. I'm gonna quote him. Stevie Bass. Tell lie vision, not television, but tell lie vision. Tells the lies that they want you to see. Right? And I'm gonna say this true. This the facts. This is my problem with politics, life, family, all the things that are around it. It's so crazy how many stereotypes we have and how many we got to break, especially as black men sitting here.
True.
Yeah.
We got to break every stereotype. We got to break the stereotype of being uneducated. We got to break the stereotype of being a hoodlum. You know what I mean? And killing and stealing. We got to break the stereotype of not being a valued man. We got to break the stereotype that we can't be a good husband or a good father. We got to break the stereotype that, we gay. Now listen, some people, you can love who you want. I got plenty of people that I know, because you brought it up about the guy with politics, I'm just going to bring it home, that is gay.
Yeah.
And do it. I don't care who you love or what you love, that's on you, but that's not me. If you can find one guy in Jupiter, Mars, Pluto, and any other star that has had Javon DeWan in any facet, then let me know, and then I'll take my son and I'll blow his brains out himself. So I don't like that exactly, so that's how real it is. Because I don't like that you try to make heterosexual men something that they're not.
Right.
And this is what I mean. This is our culture. And let me say this again. The alphabet community I respect. I got people that like that. Whatever he does as a man, in his bedroom or whatever the case may be, that's on them. But don't always try to bring somebody else into that or try to demise me as a man and try to make me feel something or feel something that I'm not. And I say that to politics the same way. You got to go find it. My whole slogan is facts over feelings.
Yeah.
We move over our feelings, but we don't move on facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We move on feelings, not facts. And the facts is we need to get them together. And this the problem. This the point I'm gonna say. I think we have way more problem in coming together than we'll ever have in voting. So you say we don't do it together. Man, first of all, how do we even live together? How do we pray together? How do we congratulate each other? And you expect for the culture to get out and vote?
Yes.
How? How do you do it?
Because,
I know you expect it, but I don't know.
this is why I expect that. Because you may pray to someone different than he does. You may have a different outlook on the way that life impacts you financially, emotionally, all of those things. But the one thing that unifies us is the way that a system has treated us. Mm-hmm. Now, there have been people, there are some of us who are indifferent, and all of us are relatively successful people. So we've seen some successes, but we don't vote just because, we don't vote from our own purview. We vote for the least among us. We vote so that people that don't have what we have can be in a position to have what we have. But more importantly than that, The reason why we do that is because that's the thing that impacts us all together.
But how do we do something all together when 400 years done passed and it seems like culturally we can't do nothing together?
We do a lot together.
Hate on each other.
Well, no, we've made, but that's isolated.
I'm not saying we didn't make some strive, Q.
No, we definitely made
We
some
have,
strides.
of course
do
we
a lot.
have, but have we made the strive that we need to make real change? I know we're making some changes, I'm with you. That's the minority, but I
A lot
don't
of
think
shit
it's
been
the
done
majority.
to us too.
Of course, I
So
agree.
we're talking about systemic issues that have ranged from.
But when we gonna let it go?
Well, it's easier to say that than do. You don't
I'm just
turn the
asking.
train, but you don't turn the train around on a dime. You
So
know
it
what I'm saying?
takes 600 years.
We've made some, but we made some progress. We've made some progress. We're making progress. We have to give us, just like we doing anything, we got to give us some due too. Like, damn it, we're doing the best we can under the circumstances.
Well, I think.
You think?
I think we are.
You think so?
We got a lot. I think
do?
we got a long way to go.
You think we're doing the best of it with the circumstances we're in?
No,
The best we can is not a good one.
I don't know if we're doing the best we can because I think we've lost sight of our foundation. You know what I'm saying? I think we can have differences, but you vote. I tell people and I educate people who want to get into politics. You vote from your core belief system. Now we got to figure out what is our core belief system. We were just talking about the black culture. What is your core belief system? Because if you don't understand your core belief system, your value system, then you have no system by which you're going to vote. And there's not going to be an equality or a community of voting because we are all going to have a different value system. And if you're saying that, if anyone is saying that as a culture we have to come together, you can only come together, where you have unity. So where do we have unity politically?
But see, with that, we have unity politically in many different places.
Where?
Right? Because we are all impacted by poor education. We're all impacted by a lack of resource. We are all, no matter who we are, whether directly or indirectly, you're impacted by those things. Those are the things that are affected.
We don't vote for that. We don't vote on that. We
That's
as
the
a-
problem.
Yeah, but as a community, we're only voting for the people that are playing to our emotions.
Because we don't understand the process.
Yeah.
You talk to most people, they can't even tell you the tiers of government. They
Yeah.
can't tell you the branches of
But
government.
you're coming back to what I'm saying.
Right.
It's like that. How long does it take for you to learn the tier of government? How long do it take? It don't take that long. You can just go to Google. My son is 18 years old. He knows me very well. Like at the end of the day, it don't take that long. I'm just saying, being informed and educated about the things that you are, I'm just trying to figure out when do we take a stance to make a real change, not we changed it a little bit, or we done this a little bit. I agree with that. I understand. I'm just asking in the culture of black people who I stand with, black men and black women. This is all black men here. You can look in the mirror. When do we take a stance to make a change, and not just a change in politics, but the change in life and be a leadership quality as a person? I say, well, let's not make footprints in sand because anybody can do that. When do we stand and make footprints in cement?
When we stop goddamn identifying a problem and start identifying a solution.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because we always, it's so easy to see what the problem is.
Right.
Let's focus more so on the solution
I agree.
as black people. Like, that's our problem. We'll find out the negative fast as hell, but we will never find out the solution to whatever the problem is. And that's what we got to focus on more as black people. We focus on the negative so much pride, so much goddamn, like, within us. Like, the moment we can put that aside and start figuring out when or what we need to do to figure out the solution, that's when we'll start making progress. But it's so hard, bro. Like, I could say, like, this group, a small group can do it, but when is the majority going to do it?
Yeah, we got to be able to teach, the next generation. You got to be able to tell your sons, you got to be able to tell your daughters, outside of what they go to school for, you've got to be a participant in their education. So I'm talking to my son today. I'm like, what did you do today? Like, I played video games. No, you need to read. My teacher told me I need to read for 15 minutes. No, I'm telling you, you need to read for an hour.
That's right.
An
hour today. An hour a day. I'm like, your teacher's wrong. Because if I don't teach him, then he's going to grow up and think, it's cool, 15 minutes is all I need. You need more education than just the educational system. You know what I'm saying? So
You need 15 minutes just to get into it.
Just to get into it. So I teach my nieces You know, I tell them information over here, the teacher's telling them this, and that's the only way it's going to translate to the next generation, and then teaching them government. But we have to educate our friends and family and have those difficult conversations.
And I agree. The only problem I have is you got to find somebody on a platform or next to you that's willing to listen. My son is willing to listen. So I tell him all the time, what's better than education is information.
All the time.
Period. You can be educated in a certain lane. I need you to be informed in multiple lanes. So we talk about multiple things.
Got to be.
So he can be able to talk on every level with someone, in no matter where he goes. And I think that's important. But of course, we got to be one to teach one. You know what I mean? But I just feel like as a culture, it's very hard.
Well, that's important too. That's the thing. So I don't just tell. I don't have kids, but I don't just tell people to do things. If people can't see the good works in you, and you're not following your own advice, then what's the point? You know, you should be. We talked, you know, before all this. And when I look for information, I'm looking for you. If you tell me something, you need to be able to tell me where it came from and how you got it. That's important. So if your kids see you doing it, it's not just important for you to tell them to do it, but it's important for them to see you doing it too.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's because that's how they learn.
So let me ask y'all a question. And then we're going to move on. In the politics area, and this will be done, we're going to go into the thing, right? Do you think we made a better choice by making Biden president over Trump, or Trump being president over Biden?
It was a definite mistake.
It was what?
Definitive mistake.
Wow. Really?
Definitive. You know, bro, you already know where I stand. If you're voting on issues, let's say you're voting on education, free choice should have been at the top of every black person list. Who would try to give you free educational choice? Was it Biden or Trump?
Trump.
Actually, Biden actually had that in his
it was Trump
as well.
No, it was Trump. If you were voting as a black person on HBCUs being funded for the next 10 years, was it Biden or Trump?
But who gave more money to HBCUs?
Trump.
No, he did not.
Yes.
He did not give more money.
You can just go look on your phone.
No, sir, I know this. I'm
okay.
telling you, he didn't give more money.
It's okay. Under President Biden, let me inform the people. Under President Trump, HBCUs were funded for 10 years.
That man say Biden?
Yeah, he said Biden.
Excuse me, under President. That's what it is.
Obama Biden.
That's what it was. If you look at Biden's cabinet and all his people, it's like 70% Obama people.
Oh, here man say Biden.
Biden. So
And
Trump funded HBCUs for 10 years. They didn't have to come back to government every year and get refunding. You know what I'm saying? So these are just the facts. If you voting on issues, you got to vote on issues. Now, if we're not going to take a personal with Andrew Gilliam, you can't take a personal with Trump. You got to make sure that you vote on your issues and then hold those people accountable. But forget Trump. You can vote at the mayoral level, at the gubernatorial level. Vote on the issues.
So you're saying Trump is a better president than Biden?
Yeah, because the United States is built on economy. It's not built on feelings. If facts over feelings is what we're voting for, then you have to go with the person that is doing the job, not somebody that's been in Congress 50 years that ain't never done nothing for you.
Sir, okay, so let me clear this up for folks too, and we'll go back and because we don't do that for this, but I'm telling you without equivocation that Biden gave more money to HBCUs, earmarked more money to HBCUs than Trump did. But let's talk about what that is fact. But I'm gonna but let's go and talk about this. Donald Trump, essentially, I think people are trying to look at. First of all, we can look at the issues. He didn't pass any legislation. He didn't pass any legislation at all, not especially any legislation having to do with black people.
People were still at a
no. We can just talk about that. We can just talk about that. He didn't pass any legislation.
You don't have to. You don't have to. He had black people employed at the highest rate.
That's not true.
That is true.
Sir, that continued
It wasn't Obama.
From the Obama administration.
It wasn't Obama.
How do you affect something if you don't pass any legislation?
Because
what do you do?
What do? You roll back the Federal Registry 33,000 pages. You know what the Federal Registry is?
I do.
Okay, so what that does is cut the regulation and red tape for businesses and how they operate.
Right, what does that have to do with HBCU earmarks?
That doesn't. This is a totally different thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that didn't factor into any of that.
You have your phone. You can look up the HBCU.
I know that legislation. I don't have to look it up.
The HBCU thing is
when I get
point
home,
blank.
I'll look it up.
Everybody can look it up.
We'll try.
We got it. I got it. I don't need my phone for none of this.
Yeah, we'll slide from
The
this.
most, so what he did was roll back the federal registry, which allows businesses to operate, cut taxes. His tax plan, because I do taxes, his tax cuts were better than what Biden is trying to do now. He give you higher tax rates. So if we're voting on issues, and everybody, you make $1 million, what you want to keep? 500,000 or 750,000? You want to keep 750. So that means less taxes, right? Because
poor people don't pay taxes.
But he's
So
just
who's
saying,
that?
I'm saying if you put,
So you're talking about people who actually make
who
money.
have to,
So how do we fund these programs?
but
that
everybody
poor
in here
people
makes
need?
money.
huh?
How do
But
we,
he's just saying in
No, I
general-
agree with you. What I'm saying is, how do we handle the least of us?
All right.
How do we help people?
Now
that-
this is a controversial statement, but none of your income taxes really go to paying any federal thing. Your income taxes go to pay the national debt. It was a paper put out in the 80s by a Ronald Reagan administration that said this very same thing.
So none of that money funds federal programs.
What funds your federal stuff is your taxes. You pay
Well,
taxes.
that's what we just said.
Yeah, but not income taxes. Taxes on your watch, taxes on your jacket, insights and excise, as I said, as we were talking before.
Right.
Those things fund. So you have gas tax, you have clothing tax, you have food tax.
Right.
These things go to fund your state and even some of these federal stuff, right? But so that's how you fund most of these programs. You don't fund them through income taxes. Because if you looked at the budget, look at what brings in an income taxes, and then look at the federal budget. And you'd be like, not everybody pays taxes.
Well, that's because they can't. That's because 1% of the new growth. I mean, because 99% of the new growth in this country goes to whom? The top 1%. 99% of the new wealth and growth.
That's fine, but there's
So
something
how
called
do they do
something called the I think it's Pareto distribution. The people at the top are always going to have more money because they have more money. Amazon is growing at a rate that's
99% of the new wealth?
That's just going to happen. It's going to happen. It's
unprecedented,
It's 80-20. No, this rule has been around. It's called the 80-20 rule. I think it's the Pareto distribution curve. It's why you can. Jordan Peterson puts it like this: it's why you can start a Monopoly game. Everybody has $100, and then at the end of it, somebody has all the money, and the rest of the people have nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason. It's just wealth that goes to it. The Bible even speaks to it. It says, "To them that have will be given; to them that don't have will be taken away." It speaks to it. The people that are at the top are always going to have money. And America is the only country that tries to have the middle class as the majority of the wealth.
So I want to know, to his question, what did Trump do specifically for black people that improved
lowest
black
unemployment
that
ever.
did not happen.
Well, stop asking me the question.
But I'm asking you what he did that
I
didn't
just told
happen
you he rolled back.
because Obama had the unemployment at
What
4%.
Obama did, and it was a nice
During
trick.
his
What
last 2
Obama
years, he
did
did not.
it was a nice trick. He expanded the federal government, and by expanding the federal government, because the federal government does not make anything, it does not produce a product. What does that mean? That means that the money for the federal government to pay the black people that he was employing, he also lowered black small businesses contracts with the federal government. But okay, so he employed a lot of black people. He expanded the federal government. TSAs expanded. All these things happened. He also ballooned the federal registry up to like 99,000 pages. More red tape. Right? So how do you pay for the federal government when the federal government doesn't make a piece of tissue? Taxes. Right? So that means your expansion of the federal government, Barack Obama, Hussein Obama, is just a bill for the people. You did nothing. And my mother works for the federal government. The federal government makes, tell me what the federal government makes.
The federal government doesn't make anything.
Right. Now tell me how.
Not any products.
Let me ask you this. How does Amtrak run?
I don't know how Amtrak.
It's the federal government. It runs terribly. How does the post office run?
Oh, you're talking about, so you're saying the federal programs run horribly.
Because
Right.
you
understand
cannot.
that?
So
Because they have to address so many people. It's not private.
Him expanding the federal government did nothing but create a tax burden for you and your kids, because it doesn't make anything. So he did nothing but hurt, in debt to people. But in his first year, Donald Trump took $700 billion off the federal, the federal tax sheet, or like we were at, the housing crisis put us at we were at 7 billion for the housing crisis, before the housing crisis. After the housing crisis, up until 2017, our federal debt was raised up to $24 trillion or something like that. He took off $700 billion in his first 2 years. After having the lowest black unemployment and the lowest minority unemployment ever. Now, you always going to have that 4%. Why? Because the poor you're going to have with you always, as the Bible says.
So was it lower for Obama's administration than it was here?
No.
So how did he change it?
Huh?
What did he do to change it? It was the same percentage as it was during his administration. It was 4%. It was 20.
It was a parlor trick.
But it was
a parlor trick by expanding the federal government. This is what you don't want to. Listen.
I'm just trying to figure out how the
numbers were the same. It was a parlor trick.
Okay.
If you expand the federal government, you put the country in more debt. And can you concede that?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So what Obama did, the black man, it put the country in more debt. Period. There's nothing you can say about that. Obama was also saying you can't bring steel and manufacturing back here 6 months before Donald Trump was elected. What did Donald Trump do? Put tariffs on steel and manufacturing coming in from China, and people had to open factories here. These are all facts.
These
are all facts.
Listen, I'm not speaking in absolutes.
The pipeline that Biden stopped, right? One of the reasons we were a net producer of gas under Trump for the first time in history is because he continued the fracking. He had the pipeline. We were using
that did what?
It makes us energy dependent, not energy independent from the world. And this is why your gas is up $1.35 to 45 cents in a year, less than a year.
And did what?
And did what?
First of all, gas was already on the rise.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And secondly, what did driving that pipeline do? What did driving that pipeline? You should know that. What did it do to Native Americans?
What did it do?
What did it do?
You don't know that?
I know what you want me to say.
No, but I mean, okay. So tell me what you think you want me to say.
You want me to say displace them?
Did it not? Did it not pass through sacred land that their land? Did it not?
Yes.
Did it not displace them?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't agree with the displacement, but the displacement would have been for a little while because the pipe would have been underground. But Biden stopped
it also damaged their land as well. That sacred land that they're on.
How was it going to damage it?
By digging and fracking?
This is not a lead-based pipe, so let's get over it. This is not 1922.
Okay.
All right?
That's a longer conversation.
You can live in your house without lead. Without lead-based
pipe. I don't want to get too serious, but it definitely damaged, and you acknowledge so. It damaged their land and displaced them.
But for the country, it was better for us to be energy independent.
Right, but for the Native American people that are displaced in their own land.
I'm glad we touched on it.
Well, the whole country's their land.
I'm glad we touched on it. I wanted to touch on it because this platform talks about everything. I know a lot of times we talked about certain things, we haven't touched on politics. And to show you two black men, and the reason I sat back is because I want you to be able to listen. Two black men go at it about things that you may not understand or may not be educated or informed about. I think this was a great display of that. So I really appreciate y'all. Here we go. Now we about to get into the fun before we get up out of here.
Spin the wheel.
Here we go. Spin the wheel, baby.
Oh, let's get that, bro.
Here we go. Here we go. I'll pick the first one. We're going to go around.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go the first one.
This about to get crazy.
Uh-oh. This is where it gets good at, baby.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh. Okay, it says, how does a woman know she has good pussy?
Oh, good.
Yo.
How does she know she has it? Y'all did? Okay, well, tell us about it. What is it?
Go ahead, y'all.
Go ahead,
no,
bro.
this you, yo. This you. I just got finished with the Trump thing. Go ahead, bro.
Come on. How does she know?
Man, listen. I'm going to say something real crazy right here. That make people real crazy, bro.
Shit. Speak out.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I don't. It's say it. I guess the only. No, for real. I'm trying to figure out. Listen, I'm trying to say this without being offensive.
Yo, say it, yo. You gotta say it, bro.
You don't. Your shit's no different than nobody else's. Your shit is all the same. It's how I perceive you. How I look at you. Yeah. Your shit wasn't built no different than nobody else's. Yeah. Do I like you? Now there's some cats that will contend like, yo man, old girls was like, you know, it was like this, it was like that. Her shit was shaped like this, and it was that, and this, that, third, and it was this. Get the fuck out of here, man. Listen, that shit it's about how I feel about her. Now, granted, you can feel some way about somebody and be like, this shit's trash.
Well, see,
yo, I don't know. I disagree.
Listen, I didn't disagree, but go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say I disagree because I've had girls that I've hated. I mean, I hate this bitch, but then I'm hit it and I'm like, fuck. This is why I fuck this. I forgot why I like this.
Right.
Bitch.
I did
and now, bro, and it's like that. Like some girls be
like,
extra cool, and then you hit it a couple more times, like 4 or 5 times. You're like, okay, it wasn't a fluke. This shit really ain't it. You know what I mean? Some shit ain't it.
But here's the deal question.
Yeah, you be on that thing. You be like,
can we? But if I care about her, now hear me, the sentimental motherfucker. If I care about her enough, can I make that? Can we teach?
No.
Yeah. But
can I make this what I needed to be?
But I think he's just talking about the.
I'm just talking about the first time you have sex, or whenever you have sex, you slide in, and it's like that's what somebody said to me. She said, "How do you know it's good?" Have you had somebody a woman that just stood out from the rest?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this.
and stand out from the rest.
No. I look at it like this. If you can, you want to shake hands with someone.
Right.
If skin can feel different, then that can feel different.
Well, because she put lotion on it.
No, what I'm saying, everybody's skin not the same. Some people have closed pores. Some people have open pores.
This is very true.
Everybody's skin naturally is not. Forget the shea butter you putting on. I'm talking about somebody bone dry. They don't have all of that stuff. Skin feels different on people. Period. And even the way you take care of yourself externally can affect how you. For a woman, it can affect how they.
The presentation.
Yeah.
Keep the presentation.
But what you eat can affect it.
There's no question.
You see what I'm saying? So what was that thing back in the day? Peaches or water, peaches and
pineapple.
Pineapple.
So
Yeah,
what you're saying is your
112
experience
peaches
can be
and
fucked
cream.
up.
Yeah.
Your experience can be fucked up, but they ain't got nothing to do with box.
No, it is gonna have something to do with that.
Somebody got
a spicy. No, it might be a spicy burrito. You never know. You see what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying like it can be different. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then some people are wetter than others. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them got the Kung Fu grip.
Yeah, that grip.
Hold on, everybody at home, what is the woman with the Kung Fu grip?
Wait
a second. You said it wasn't nothing different.
Guys, put it in, guys. Squeeze it hard, Kate. Squeeze it hard.
You said it wasn't no different. It's different.
It's different.
That's different.
Like, man, listen.
I don't know if she doing this shit on purpose.
No, she not. That's the point.
But if she is,
not,
man, listen.
she not. That's the point.
That's what I'm saying. If you doing it, if she is doing it on purpose, then she know what the hell she doing.
Listen,
that's what she's supposed to do.
But see, that's why I say it can be different. You know what I'm saying? And
Sometimes you gotta back up off of it and just look at it.
And look at it like, yeah.
Did you serious?
You know what I'm saying? And
point at it.
I know. Why you move?
And
doing?
You talking to her?
Don't move.
Don't you move. That Eddie Murphy. Don't move.
Don't move. Why you move?
It's true.
Coming to America. Boomerang. That's my joint right there.
I'm just saying, for most cats, it's about the experience, though. Like, but in fairness, that's part of the experience.
You know what it is too?
Yeah, you can
it's
fuck my shit
visual.
up.
It's very visual. You know what I mean? Because if a girl ain't got the arch right, if she don't look nice, like if she ain't like got the visual representation, I mean, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. That's not.
There's a lot of X's in there.
No. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Like, put like everybody got their different terms.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I like areolas. So if an areolas ain't how I like it, I ain't gonna be like super into it.
See, I'm
Like, you know what I mean? So like, she has to be visually appealing to what I like.
It bears repeating. Why you fucking?
See, for me, I'm very
A lot of strikes.
Right. You got a lot of caveats over there, bro. No, for me, like, if this, you got like a hypothesis. If this, then I will do. Then that will be good. But no, what I said.
Arm was on. If your arm was on,
Yeah.
arm is on. Saying
One of your arms,
Hey, what?
one of the other.
Hey, what said?
No, hold on. Time out, pause. He said, man, she did, she that. But if she put her arm back on,
Yo, what Will
she didn't
Smith?
have as much hair as she did the first time.
What Will Smith said in the basement? Sitting in the basement, sitting on the trap, the girl getting on my nerve. Going out of my mind, I thought she was fine. Don't know if her body is hurt.
yeah.
I don't know why you there, sir. That's what he said.
Hey, man, hey,
No, that's
listen,
not what I
listen,
mean.
listen,
Everything
listen,
is just different though.
Have you ever had a chick that just went stupid crazy on you the first time and never did it again?
Yeah.
Like just
showed
stupid
out.
crazy. Like it was one of them nights where both of y'all might have been drunk or whatever, and she just did some crazy shit. You know? And then you was like looking forward to happen again, and it just never happened again.
Yeah.
And you used to be like, damn.
Nah.
You know, and they just turned regular. It just turned regular.
Superman.
You go from premium to regular.
Cause she had
Straight to
that fuel injection.
Shake it up.
Yeah, but
Shake it up.
She had that fuel injection. You got to give her some fuel. That's what it is. She ran out of gas.
Oh, you know, mine.
All right, here we go. Here we go. DC, it's your turn.
Yo, that's
Turn the
crazy.
rapper to you. Spin it and then pick one, baby. Pick one, my brother.
Here we go.
Man, that was
That
good.
nigga like that was a good ass rapper.
Man, that boy said
I feel like
she done put her arm back on.
Back on. Why did it come off?
God, yo, how we get back on this topic?
Oh shit.
Is it the same shit going on?
No, this different.
Nah, let's find something else.
You want?
Let's see what this one.
Listen, hey,
Let's see this.
basically the same job.
Nah,
That's basically the
we
same.
need something for the women. Go ahead, keep going. Come on, shovel that thing up again. That was cool. When we need women, women are looking at this as all men. We need
here
something
we
for the
go.
women.
Here we go.
We need something,
Let's get
make
it.
something good for the women.
Let's get it. Here we go. What you think?
Nah, throw that back in there too. That's one thing about our show. We can just throw things back in. Nah, women watching this show, they
Shit out of that.
yeah, man. Nah, it's
I'm
good.
good.
No, it's
All
good. It's just not for this one.
All right, there we go.
We need
I'm
something
getting in
good.
there. I'm getting in there, man. I'm
No,
getting
man,
in
it's
there.
like the lottery, man. We gotta win it.
I'm getting in there. Here we go. Bow. Let's see.
That's cool.
That is all
I ain't
right.
mad at that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Who loaded this shit?
No, it's good. It's good. No, it's good. Don't get me
Okay,
wrong.
no. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's see. Okay.
Let's get
Let's
that.
talk about that. Women want to know that. Let's talk about
All right,
that.
put that down.
We talked about sex already. Let's go. Read it out loud. Let's go. Here we go.
Why monogamy doesn't work? That's tough.
Here we go. This is for the ladies that's watching Men Being 1000. Oh, somebody tell me why monogamy doesn't work, or does it work?
It doesn't work because people aren't honest with what they want or what they like. I mean, most people I've seen a relationship where open relationships are more happier than monogamous relationships because you know this person. You know this person is what they into.
Is it because some people just don't even talk about it?
That is the truth. People are ashamed to talk about it.
Sometimes people because I've been with women that just don't want to talk about it, and they just don't, and I really elude those situations. But sometimes, I hang around a little bit because it just be so good. You looking so good, damn. You know what I mean? You just part of the, team. If you will. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You around for one reason or another, but you just don't communicate enough about what you want. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. So a woman that communicates, you find the right woman that communicates and comprehends and all these things that you want. Does monogamy work for you? 50 years being with one woman. Does that work for
I
you?
can't tell you because I ain't never did that. You know what I'm saying? I told you one time I'm from Africa.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
fucking
kind
funny
of
as
friends. And
that's funny as
he
fuck.
explains his life, and I like it. I ain't saying that I gotta live it, and I ain't saying that's how I'm living. But I
like
understand.
it.
What,
But
how
I
you
like
feel?
it.
Well, let's answer the question. Monogamy. Can monogamy work?
Yes.
Of
I
course
said it
can
work. Yeah, we said it
So,
work.
yes, monogamy can work, but who does it work for and who does it not work for?
Right.
So, I mean, if we're talking about, and we talking about our folks, I'm always thinking about our folks, because, fuck everybody else. So, if talking about it from our aspect, we haven't been taught those things. When the infrastructure is all fucked up, then you don't get to see examples. Same thing we're talking about, when we're talking about education. You don't get to see the examples of people leading you to those places. When your parents been married, your grandparents been married for eon, you know what it can be. You see the possibility of that. So when you see the possibility of those things, then yes, you can invest in it. You know it can work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You give it the opportunity to work. But if you see all the shit around you not working and all your niggas and everything ain't working, then of course that becomes the culture. That becomes the climate. Now all of a sudden you develop these warped senses of monogamy or that the shit don't work. And it does
And
not.
to add to what Q is saying, I agree. Monogamy can work. I've seen monogamy work.
Yeah.
I think monogamy could be absolutely amazing.
Yes.
But here's the kicker. This is the hardest thing. It's being inside of someone's relationship to knowing if they are really monogamous or not.
Yeah.
Just because you're married, I'm writing a movie called Mad and Married, doesn't mean that you enjoying this marriage that you're
Exactly.
in. You're just
In the time.
doing it because the time has told you it's cheaper to keep her. We got so many cliches to say this. And I feel like for me, if I'm going to do it, then why not, just like anything in my life, do it for real. And I think for me, what's important to do it for real, for it to work, looking at my grandparents or looking at depictions, is picking someone who know how to have great work throughs. Work throughs meaning when you're going through something, they know how to work through it. They don't sink the anchor inside of the problem and then get a room in the problem hotel. A lot of people like to sit in the problem hotel and get big.
True story.
I don't want that.
Right.
Work throughs, right? After work throughs is accountability. Man and woman having accountability for who and what you are. The third thing is not pointing fingers. Not pointing fingers of what you should have done or what you shouldn't do, but what I could do to inspire something different. That's another level. Imagine changing the relationship and what's happening in the relationship because you look in the mirror and decide that you want to inspire yourself to inspire somebody else to do something different. The fourth thing is one of the hardest things for people, and I think for black people. It's called forgiveness.
True forgiveness.
You have to have forgiveness, some form of it. You don't have to forget, but you got to have forgiveness. And if you use forgiveness enough, you'll start to forget. Because we don't. We hold on to, I ain't gonna never forget you did that. I don't know what it is about negativity. Think about the things that we like to watch on TV. Think about those things. We are attracted to somebody killing somebody. We are attracted to that negativity. And that's what we bring into our friendships, our business, and our life. And I'm being honest. And I think that is what holds us back from having a great monogamous relationship. Because we don't know how to have the ship. We just only know how to have the relation. The ship is the most important part because the ship is what takes you through the currency, takes you through the things that's happening, the travel of the ship. But we got great relations with men. We love to have relations all the time. We having sex, we do whatever we want, but we don't understand the value of the ship. And then we don't understand as a woman sometimes, in my humble opinion, who should be driving the ship. That doesn't mean a man should be driving the ship. That's confusing. Because sometimes a man can be in his weakest stage, and the tides and the ebb and flows of the ocean is going crazy and it's about to sink the ship. And unfortunately, the woman is the better captain at this time.
At that time is the key word, though.
At that time. At that time.
And I mean that in a sense that you're partners. So when I'm weak, you can be strong.
yeah,
but let's be clear, I'm the driver.
No, of course
and I'm not saying that from the aspect of,
Misogyny.
I'm man and
Yeah.
you're supposed to do what I mean. No, I'm the head of my house. That means
Yeah.
I'm responsible for my house. This is my partner.
Talk.
She is an equal partner, but I am the head of that house. So I'm the driver, and to your point, I'm the driver. But sometimes I might not be able to. But I'm glad that my partner can drive.
Because if you're the driver and you know you're not able, then you got to defer.
And you have to be worthy of being the driver.
Yes, but on top of that, you got to defer. Because if you know you're too weak and you DUI and you've been drinking too much, you don't need to drive. Because if you're the protector of your household, why would you be trying to kill your wife?
You got to know how to delegate.
You got to know how to delegate.
Yeah.
And as men, sometimes we don't know how to delegate because we done been put in a position to be the man and to be the provider and the protector of the house. Well, if you're protecting, sometimes it's better for her to drive.
You got to know how to
Because
defer.
I done drunk too much. Like at the end of the day, my tolerance ain't as high as yours. So at the end of the day, you may need to be able to drive. That don't mean I'm weaker.
No.
That don't mean she should look at me weak. That don't mean that, hey, I lost my job and finances you there. And that's what I learned inside of the instant gratification relationships. We don't understand that we're partners. Like at the end of the day, I understand that I'm a winner. And this is what I leave with. Percentages is big. You're talking about slice of pie ideologies. You're talking about the whole pie ideology. And you know what the better than the whole pie? Is the baker. The person that know how to throw the pie away because it's moldy and know how to make a new pie. That's what your mom is. Know how to make a new pie. I affect what's in my house. I affect what my man is gonna do. And I tell women all the time, a woman was made in 7 days, the last thing he made was a woman. Whoa, man. It's because you are better than a man if you know how to use it. I promise you.
Man.
You know how
man.
Whoa, man. I'm telling you, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
But what I come to find out that I heard a long time ago is that most women are looking for Superman. But if you're looking for Superman, then that means it's already somebody else's man. Somebody already inspired him to fly.
Gotta find
Because
out.
80% of the time, he just Clark Kent.
Right.
Facts.
But can you see Clark Kent? Move on. Here we go.
That's the thing. Can you see Clark Kent?
Better know it.
That's
Thank you so much, Nene Brown. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Go. Come on.
Nah, that's
You
not
need something good?
This me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm good.
This
I
on
might
you,
get
bro.
another one, little something. Spin that thing around, bro.
Let's go, bro.
There you go, there you go, there you go, there you
Wait
go.
for
What I
this
love
talk.
about
That little thing right there.
Oh,
Let me
make that shit happen.
see. I'm gonna open
I
this
need to
shit.
slide a little.
Turn that.
Twist
Turn.
it, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That shit was hard enough.
do something good, man, then we can talk
Keep my
about
Let's
eyes.
see.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I like this one.
it. Okay.
Oh, I like this one.
Oh, Lord.
okay.
He like
I want you to read that one out loud, brother.
All right, cool.
You gonna like this one. You gonna like this one.
Here we go. Ooh. Have you ever felt used in your life, and why?
Damn.
Have you ever felt used as a man in your life?
Somebody lying, say no.
Yes.
crazy
What's
talk.
Go ahead, Jazze. Talk to me. Have you ever
That's
felt
crazy.
used in your life?
Of course.
Tell me about it.
I think a lot of times, I think the especially, in these, in a single, relationship world, if you will, and being successful, black man in Atlanta, and all that kind of whatever. Women tend to think that I have this energy that's like the sun, like it never goes out. It's like it's always. And it's like, cause I mean, aesthetically, that's like obvious. Like women gonna try to use you for your money all the time. That's like that's small. That's easy. That's of course. Like women just do that. Like on the surface all the time, like especially young, dumb, or whatever. But on a whole nother level, I think what I learned over time is when they use you for your energy. Your energy, come over and they be like, oh, you ain't lied today. You ain't lied today, so I'm gonna leave. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, oh, so I'm the man with the big, you know, with the pouring, you know, going on. I'm the only man that can pour. I'm the only one that can pour. You can't pour in the meal. You come. Oh, I was on my way going to eat. I know you're not going to eat until 6 o'clock. It's 3 p.m. Where you going? You say you was stopping by, you know, and just because I'm not feeling like, you know, the turned up fizzle, turn me up. You know I can be turned up.
You know
But you're not even gonna make the effort to even try.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not even gonna, like, and I do have those ones that come through and be like, I'm gonna turn you up. You getting out the house, and you know I appreciate that.
I came for the Superman.
I appreciate that, and see, and that's the thing that I need. So that's where women gotta learn. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta turn the dial just a little bit.
1 degree, boy.
And sometimes we just want that. We want that, and sometimes I think subconsciously we just wait to see. We sit back in the cut and just wait and see if you gonna try to turn that knob. You gonna turn that knob and just make me feel a certain kind of way. And they don't even realize that you can get so much further. You can get so much further if you just look and see. Look and see. And you act like you know, really care. You ain't even gotta really care.
Wow.
That's the crazy part.
Just act like
You ain't even really gotta care. Just act like you care. Act like you care.
That's powerful.
You can get so much if you act like you care. Cause if you jump up and do the things that a person that cares does, man, you might be the greatest actor on earth.
You know what I had to do in life when it was to a woman for me? I had to realize, because I felt used so many times, I had to realize really quickly that I was worthy of being used. So I was like, God made me to be used. I'm supposed to be used.
Right.
Because I got favor, I'm supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Right? Then I said, okay, well, what makes me feel this way, you know, in the negativity? I said, how can I change it? So I know that I'm supposed to be used, so I had to figure out in my toolbox, and we use a toolbox, that I'm cool with being used, but I'm not gonna let you come in my toolbox and grab the tool that you want. You're not grabbing the tool that you want no more. I'm only giving you the tool that I want to give you. And if I give you the tool that I want to give you, then I have no regrets. I don't feel negatively used. I feel positively used. Because I'm like, D.C, you can have that. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You can have that. And I'm cool with that. But when you mess up, mess up and let people into your life and they can just free fall inside of your blessings, your favor, your energy, your spirit, your talent, and whatever, and just let them grab what they want because they have positioned themselves to be like they're really down for you and they're not. And then you thinking, this is what it is, and they're grabbing it. That's when I feel used because I'm like, man, I have been deceived. I've been, bamboozled. I've been this. So I don't let anything bamboozle me no more. But I don't let you change me. At first, I was so disappointed and hurt that it changed me. But I noticed that when I changed me, you won. So I decided that you're not gonna change me. You're not gonna change who I am. I'm just gonna change who I do it with. Wow, that's the difference.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna change me giving. You're not changing me smiling and dancing. You're not changing me waking up in the morning and giving. Yeah. You're not doing none of that because that means I gave you too much of me to where you done changed me, so you won. Yeah. So that's not gonna work. I'm gonna keep being me. I'm just not gonna keep being me with you.
Yeah. That's good because a lot of people change when they get. When they get used.
I'm hurt. I was hurt. I did. No question. And everything that comes into it don't have to be hurt from a woman. It can be hurt from business. It can be hurt from a person you believed in. You can hurt from all kind of things because you buy into it. And being honest with you, I can buy into friendships at one point than I can buy into a woman because I'm business. I buy into dreams. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's easier. You seen, bro? I can do this, bro. Quinn, let's rock, bro. I got you. I changed your life, bro. I can do this. Let me take you in here. You with it? Let's do it, bro.
And
you go, let's ride. You want to sleep on my couch? You want to sleep on my floor? Oh, my nigga, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to pay me shit. I'm down. We going. Then you get all the way to the top and millions of dollars, And then you get on the Billboard Awards and they say, well, how did you get here? And you say, a close friend of mine. I never
knew a friend.
I never knew that my mama named me Close and my middle name was and the last name was friend of mine. Always remember, my friend, the world will change again. And you may have to come back through everywhere you've been. That was Joe Sample's record with Layla Hathaway. I never forgot those words.
Yeah.
But it was actually on piggybacked on what you said. It was called When Your Life Was Low. And in that same scenario. Oh, bro, crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Joe Sample.
U-Turn was my favorite record. Women Take Six.
Oh, brother, let's
come on now.
Come on, we knew we can do this all day.
Yeah.
But but in terms of being used, I think we're all going to be used. That's never been lost on me. It's to your point. I don't ever feel depleted. I give you as much as I can without depleting me. You're never going to be as important as me. Never.
I like
your
that.
life.
Yeah, I like that one.
And that's not personal.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm never going to prioritize you over me. Never. So whatever you think you're getting, I'm allowing. I'm allowing that to be. I know.
I like that.
So if that is going to happen, listen. I realize that I'm going to give and I'm going to get. But the point comes where I'm getting less than I'm giving, and this doesn't have to be with specific people. This might be with one person or maybe with several people.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting from any one relationship, then I will listen. I'm almost too good at letting people fade away. I don't even have to address you anymore. I can just let you go because you were never significant to me anyway. And that is personal. But I make it a point to never. I'm always more strategic than I am emotional. Always.
It's damn near unhealthy.
Yeah, I won't let you do that to me. My personal health is way more important than you will ever be. Because I remember my man said this one time. He said, I remember a time when I didn't know you. And I was doing real good. It could be like that again.
I like that.
I mean,
a friend of mine always said, man, the word use coupled with the word abnormal, that's where we get abused from. And so don't allow yourself to be abnormally used by people. You know what I'm saying? Why holding on to who you are and why setting the parameters? People are going to use you because if they're using you, like we said, that just means you have something that's worth using. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful not to be abnormally used or abused, as we say.
Yeah.
Agreed. 100%. So, women, I know y'all watching right now. We got some men here. I want to ask some real questions, really quick.
Yeah.
Right? You been married before?
Whew. Yeah.
Hey, that boy didn't say yeah. That boy said,
Let me explain the reason I said that.
Say what you said backstage.
I know you made it. Hey.
Backstage, I said, 8 seconds too long. They asked me how long I've been married. I said 8 seconds. I said 8 seconds.
Too long?
Yeah.
Dang.
We was backstage having fun. But I've been married. To answer your question.
So, here's quickly. Because I know a lot of people want to be married, a lot of people do this. It didn't work for you. How long was your marriage, seriously?
Just under 2 years, about 18, 19 months.
Tell me very quickly, what was the reason you got married and what was the reason you got divorced?
I believe that she was my friend and accepted me and all of the different layers that come with me, because it does. With me comes a lot of layers, and it's the truth. And two things. We got married. Something was said right after we got married, which made me fearful that this wasn't going to last, which was, I knew you weren't going to change, or I knew you were going to be like this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which was disappointing, because I'm very open in who I am, and I'm myself 100% of the time. So that, along with finances and kids, I'll be honest with you. Those three things together, it made it untenable to be honest with you. It made it untenable to move forward. Yeah, so, Cecil.
My mama once said, like, you don't know nobody till you live with them.
That's true.
You don't know nobody till you live with them. So all of that with grandma and them talking about you get married and stay, y'all don't have sex and all, boy, no. I need to try this out.
Well, I will say this. As I said backstage, because I want to be 100, I let go of some principles of my vetting that I do for vetting. And
Be clear about that. What does that mean? What do you mean that you didn't vet? Meaning in the front, on
the front end, yeah. I was on a live last week, and one of the things that I brought up was the vetting process. So how we vet people, again, going back to politics, is based on your core value system. So as you get to know someone, you cannot be so enamored with the person, or enamored with the sex, or enamored with how they treat you, or whatever, that you don't hold fast to certain principles that you need to stick to, so that it help you see the bigger picture of this person. So within my relationship, it was, I thought I found a friend, thought I found my best friend, and I let go of the vetting process of seeing who this person was holistically, not just as a person, but as a mother, as a wife, and how that was going to translate. And I stopped looking in the crooks, in the crevices, because I'm someone that looks, everything means something. Every conversation means something. You could say one by mistake, and I think that it means something, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Not just for me, but what does it mean to this person and for this person? So I'm someone who does that, and I let go of that, and to be honest, that was a lesson that I learned. I never do it again. To always stick to my principles of vetting out a person, because I've been in love before, and I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to look at someone and not want anyone else on the planet and be accepting of them holistically, but I know what it also looks like to know that that person still has some areas that they need to grow in for you all to be functional. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you just can't let go of your vetting process, men and women.
What does in love feel like?
Well, for me, it's, we were talking about this backstage, which is crazy. For me, it's really weird. But for me personally, my attention is so focused on this person, everything else becomes a blur. All other women become a blur. It's not that I don't see it. Not that I don't see it, but it's blurry because it's here. You know what I'm saying? It's like a horse with blinders on. You know what I'm saying? You can see little things, but it's just, I'm focused.
With the one you were with.
With the one I'm with. But for me, it also has helped my business and me being a musician and a producer.
Let's keep going. Because I think it's important that women need to know that there's men like even myself that feels like once you're there. I'm like a relationship on, or I'm a single man on. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to teeter. Or I just be like not getting a relationship. But if I get in a relationship, I'm working on being the best I can be in that relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the truth. But it's hard for me to get into a relationship. But if I get into one, boy, I'm trying to.
What makes it hard?
What makes it hard for me? I think for me, well, ain't no thinking. I know for me, the more I grow inside of my altitude of who I am and what I bring to the life, not to the table. Because see, people so much about what they bring to the table. That means they can only bring it in the room that has a table. I affect every room that I walk in.
Period.
Because I'm thinking about a table.
Right.
True story. I'm not thinking about looking for a table. I don't care if it ain't no table. I'm gonna affect whatever I'm in.
We gonna bring a goddamn table.
Chick-fil-A. I don't care where we are, Quinn. So my point is, as I keep growing to this altitude of spirituality and that, being transparent about who I am, and what I'm not, being real about it and trying to work on my reflection for real. Because one person can say anything, but when you ask them, you'll be like, how do you cook, macaroni and cheese? They'll be fluent in how they cook it. You ask somebody how they work on who they are, they'll be fluent about that. You ask me, how do you work on who you are? Just ask me that.
How do you work on who you are?
Well, let me tell you what I do. I wake up every morning, I got these cue cards around my mirror. And my cue cards tell me what I'm going to be. Then I go back and write on the cue cards after I done spent time with the cue cards. Every time I walk out the door and come back in, I speak to it loud and proud. I'm going to be a great man. I'm going to be a great man. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Then 3 weeks later, I write under how I'm going to be a great man. Because you can't just say you're going to be a great man.
That's true.
So you got to write down how you're going to do it. If you say you want to lose weight, then you got to write down how you're going to lose weight. So I say, okay, what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm, stand fast and I'm cool with no women if I'm going to be in a relationship. If I'm going to be in a relationship, how do I do that? Then I need to make sure that my relationship with God is stronger than it ever been, because I'm still going to be weak as a man.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that I choose right. So what is choosing right, Javon? Finding out the things that are, that I can hold on to and, be attracted to long term. You know what I'm saying? And you can work on that from afar. So this is why it's hard for me, because the more informed you are about the hardest person you date in your life. You know the hardest person you date in your life?
Yes, sir.
You who?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you start dating yourself and you really date yourself, it makes it even harder to date somebody else once you find joy, peace, and happiness.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it hard. Because I never knew what peace was. I never knew what joy was. I knew what happy felt like, cute. I knew what that felt like. That's momentary. That wasn't from internal. That was just a feeling. Now, bro, I'm at happiness, I'm at joy, I'm at peace, bro, on another level. That don't mean you're not going to have adversity. So when I choose, and I'm choosing, I want to work on those things that if I wasn't informed, and I never felt it, then I wouldn't miss it. But now that I done felt it, I gotta have it.
Gotta have it. You ain't no going back. Now, for me, I'm just, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of not being able to live up to that standard. There's so many ups and downs in what we do. Music. It's just so, the thought of bringing someone else into that chaos for me I almost to some degree think I'm saving someone from that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want someone to be a part of that, how this goes this way and it's crazy and then it's like down here.
Yeah, right.
And then it's here, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to experience that. But I'm also taking away from someone that experience who may want to experience that with me.
Yeah.
But if for me, I overthink things. We've talked about that. I overthink a lot of things. There's a lot of things I don't pull the trigger on because I overthink them. I'm thinking 6 times about it. And sometimes all you got to do is just fucking do it, man.
Do it,
Yeah. And, or as Brother Steve Harvey would say, just jump.
Just jump. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to just jump. Well, I don't subscribe to that shit. So I'm telling you.
And that's the name of my book, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm joking, but I believe in it. But I believe in taking calculated risk. I believe in my taking risk, but then being calculated. But sometimes you have to take some uncalculated risk too. So that's where I'm working on. It has nothing to do with them. I know some phenomenal fucking women. And I'm talking about that I'm friends with, genuine friends with. And that I am some that I dig. But I haven't really said, I don't really go to them about that because in my mind, I'm like, listen, I don't know if she can deal with that. I don't know if she can, and more than that, I don't know if I want to subject her to that. I don't know if I want to put her in the midst of that because it's a lot for a person to have to endure. So, I stay by myself.
That's commendable.
I like it. Before we get ready to close out, we're going to keep it going.
We got to hold this damn, we got to find an anchor for this thing.
Oh, I got you. Here we go. It's crazy that you said that. Can most men be a husband without having their finances on the level that they desire?
Sure you can.
Because you just said.
I don't feel like most can though.
No, you just said to
Well,
me.
are they able to?
No,
I don't think- I
wanting
don't
to.
think-
They
I
want
don't think
to.
you-
Yeah, like me and my finances, what you're talking about, my
I don't
finances
even
where
think,
they want to be.
I don't even think men even think about marriage until they financially stable.
And that's the shame, right? Because we assume. No. Honestly, it really is. That's the shame because we really honestly think that there's no women out there who would ride with us, and that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Now, we tend to think that no matter what, romance without finance is a motherfucking nuisance. So we know that and listen, I
It
still
ain't
believe
romance
that.
at all, goddamn.
It is. It's tough to be involved in something when you're not stable. I've been there before. I have. I done been in that boat.
Yeah.
So
Now, you know what? Back in the day, it was a little different. But now, I mean, with social media and all the nuances we got with these women and all of that, it just made it a lot more difficult. It just made it so difficult. When you go and see Travis Scott leave roses in every corridor in the whole house
I saw
of his woman. Like, nigga, I can never buy that many roses. I can't even fathom buying that many goddamn flowers for everybody in the country.
And where do you call it? Where do you call it?
I'm like, where do you call?
Who has that many roses? Just that.
That nigga just.
So where do you even get them from?
Was he grown,
Right.
motherfucker? Like, I don't know.
Facts.
Like, it ain't that much love.
But there's so many ways you
the
can
love
show
boat.
your love, though. And I believe this too. And I want women to tell you that's funny. Women will tell you off the rip, I don't need all of that.
No,
that's
stop.
nice.
Stop playing. They
listen, no, but
they playing with
honestly, brother,
themselves.
They be
You don't
lying.
need all what?
They lying, man. That's what they
You don't
doing.
need all what?
Listen, brother, I'm talking about they don't need a hallway full of roses to lay on to walk on.
They might not need it, but they
They
want
ain't gonna tell you that.
This is what I'm saying.
They do.
She probably ain't gonna say
They
that.
expect it.
They definitely do.
That's the parallel.
But honestly, I think that's again. So y'all in the same boat I'm in. Like I think I have to do this, but if you're not talking to them to really find out what they want, then you don't know because the one you want may not even need all that.
Yeah.
She may not
You're right,
want all
you're
that.
right.
I agree with that as long as you're lucky.
You're right.
Because
You gotta be
unfortunately, the person that there was a percentage of a diagram I seen. All women, financially or not, shoot at a 2% man.
Yes.
And the 2% man is a person that makes over 6 figures or better, right? So it ain't that many people. They say it's like 2 or 3% of black men that
It's
make
like
over
6.
okay, whatever it is.
In the whole country.
In the whole country, but I'm talking about
the whole country,
that
wow.
makes 6 figures or better. So every woman, you think about what you're saying. Every woman shoot at that. The girl who got the money, the girl that don't have the money, the fat asses, the cute faces, the pretty faces, the doctors, the accountant, whatever. Because if you talk to most women that are financially, you have some money and they got some finances, they'll tell you they're not dating down in finances.
Oh yeah.
They will tell you that. They're like, I'm not dating down in finances.
No.
Men with finances
Because they
might.
didn't already hide their heart broke by a broke motherfucker.
Yeah, but and this is the sad part. You go from finances to broke. And that's the part I'm
Watch
talking
they crying, they got
about. Then
that
watch
too.
this. You go from finances to broke, and you go from one extreme to the next because we don't have balance. That don't mean he has to be broke. That don't mean he's rich either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So watch this. You're not dating down. So the man that's 2%, everybody in this room that's probably making 6 figures or better, you being shot at by every type of woman, bro. And a woman who has finances is not dating the UPS guy.
Yeah.
He's not dating the post office.
Yeah.
He's not doing it. You can. She's not doing it. Period. You're gonna talk to them. We're gonna bring women on here. We're gonna have a whole women panel, and we're gonna make sure that financial is very hard. You got some outliers. Don't get me wrong, but most are not doing that.
And the reason why they're not going to do that is because if I can do it, and the number one statement is going to be, if I can do these things for myself,
Why
then
can't
I'm
you?
not, well, not why can't you, but if I can do these things for myself, then I don't have any responsibility to lower that standard to appease you. So I can do, if I can do these things, if I know a friend of mine, I was talking, she lives in California, and she says, I go to dinners, not all the time, but I go to dinners, and I can spend $200-300 on myself. So if I can do that, then in my mind, you should be able to do that. Yeah. So theoretically, that makes sense.
Right.
But if you're putting yourself in a position to do that, and we're thinking about how you, and I'm not saying to lower your standards, your financial standards, but those don't have much to do with with whom you choose as a person.
Right.
They are parallel. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm saying that if you do that with each man or woman that you date, then you are really cutting off a large segment of the population.
Well, I think I agree, but I think this conversation is so layered that we don't really understand what's happening. Like,
because it's relative to the person.
Well, not just that, but think about the financial position that women are in today versus what they were in 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
a
if
whole
we're talking
nother
about the
conversation
black
going on.
culture,
That's what I was about to say.
if we're talking about the black
whole
culture,
nother conversation.
our women are, I think, the most educated women.
On the planet.
Right.
In the country.
In the country. So
You know who explained the evolution the best? Eddie Murphy, when he was talking about the girl in Africa.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get me a bamboo.
Yep.
Or riding on a zebra with
Say,
no pockets.
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fufu.
Yeah. It's
Come
like
on,
she
Eddie.
ate the apple. It's like she ate the apple. It was
Yeah.
carnal knowledge.
Yeah.
It was that knowledge. When she came to America, she was Americanized. That's why. How excited? So you're a performer. How excited do you get when you meet a chick and she says, "I've been here for 3 weeks. I'm from Mississippi.
No.
I don't know nobody. Fifth Plaza, what's that? Like, Saks Fifth, who? What? Mercedes? He got a Benz? Like, that.
Right.
How excited are you?
That twinkle in the eye.
If you're talking to me, like, I mean, I love, let me put this one, put it in perspective. I love material things, but I'm not rooted to them, if that makes any sense. So, but how do I feel about her feeling that way? Is that what you're
She
asking?
don't know.
If she doesn't know,
You not knowing.
You don't ran across a girl. She just moved here. Don't know nothing
So
about
you
Fifth
can
Plaza,
educate
nothing.
her on all of, like, what all of this shit means. She's green.
She don't know.
It's gonna
Are
be
you
better.
excited?
It's gonna be better.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Does she exist?
Super excited.
Somebody just
No, I'm just saying, you don't get that sometimes?
Where is she?
Because you go so many places.
Yeah, she lying.
I know I do.
But I'm saying that the
It
world
might be
is-
cap.
The world is definitely cap. So the world is so connected now, and people are so, and we all know because of social media, we all see and desire the same things. What we don't know.
No, we don't.
Well, we do. We don't.
No, we don't.
We don't desire the
No,
same
we don't.
things. But
I'm sorry.
we want-
I know some women that don't desire that shit.
no, I do too.
They don't care
No, I do.
about that material shit.
Oh no, ain't no question about that.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Is
I
that
know
you
some
don't
women
have
that
to
don't
do
give a damn.
They just want it, but to your point,
Yeah.
that is exciting for somebody to say that about you. What I get more excited about is that somebody who is genuinely fucking interested in you.
Yeah.
I know a girl who is genuinely interested. She just calls me to say, "How you doing? I just thought about you. I
man.
miss you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just want to see
Reciprocity.
that you're okay."
You know how many times people don't call just to say how you doing? I told my homeboy, and I'm gonna ask y'all this question.
And you do that. And you do that.
Thank you.
And
I try to do that. But let me say this to you, as people out there that y'all know real shit. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you something that's real. We black men. We got a family. We gonna act.
Right.
We married with kids. We got 2 kids. They 10 and 13. We got a wife. And you got a dog. Right? You come home every day from working your ass off to provide for your family. In the long run, who do you think out of your wife, put them in perspective, your 2 kids and your dog, who show you the most love every time they see you walk back in the house?
That dog.
The dog, man, come on. Let me tell you something about a dog, bro. When a dog sees you at the door and he comes and he spins around in a circle and he does all the little tricks that he does and he run through the whole house and all of that and run up under the goddamn counter, everything, a dog's brain secretes the same thing in a person's brain when they first fell in love.
Wow.
Every time.
Wow. Facts.
Every time.
That's crazy.
That's facts.
You know, you got 2 of them. You got 2 dogs.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Like I'm telling you.
Look it up.
Bro, that's what I'm telling you why I love animals so much. Because they never
They're
get
in love.
tired. They never do nothing. That's unconditional love. That's why it says a man's best friend.
They love you.
A man's best friend. Because
That's
you can
from
go
observation.
home, bro, you can go home 1,000 times. That don't mean your wife gonna give it to you. That don't mean your kids. You'll give kids. I got a son. You don't have one yet. Yeah, he gave it to me when I was young. But as he grows older, he's not giving it to you no more. My dog can grow older better, and he's gonna keep giving it over
Hey,
and
look-
over and over again.
look at history.
I don't care what it is.
Look at history.
He did the same thing every time. Every time. 10 years straight, my dog do the same thing when I come to the house. it will fucking crawl to that door and cry when I walk in that door.
And what
my
I'm
daughter
trying
would stay in the room, my wife would stay in the room, that dog would be at that door when
and
I
that's
come.
what I'm trying to explain to you.
Thank you, Fido.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you
They don't know what to
culturally.
do with themselves.
This is what I'm trying to tell you culturally, and this is true. I grew up that way, where everything has to stop when Superman walking through the door. Stop. Superman coming. No more Nintendo. Go say hello. Greet him coming through the door. See, there's a difference when you inspire certain things that you want. You have to go inspire that, and that dog do that. So you might have had a bad day, but when your dog come and jump all on you, guess what you do? Give back. Don't matter what it is. What's up, buddy? You good, buddy? How you doing, buddy?
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying a woman or a man is a dog. I'm saying that maybe we should learn from them. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we should learn from them and understand how we give and how we jump and make somebody feel great. Because I'm just telling you, can't just make me feel great in the bed because I don't spend that much time in the bed.
But my kids, my dog has been at home all day. That motherfucker's running up at me jumping because he wants to eat. That's number one. But I believe he genuinely loves me.
No. It's more than that. It's definitely more
I'm
than
being
that.
facetious. No, what I'm saying
My
that
dog will look
my
at the food and still
your
not,
dog is
you know what I mean?
reciprocating
Nah.
that love, but my dog doesn't have the same.
Who?
My dog. My dog doesn't have the same. My wife may have gotten some news today that her mother's sick.
No, but this different because
My
you
kids had a bad day at school.
Q, I gotta stop you because at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is that's all things that can happen every now and then. But we're talking about percentages. You're talking about 100%. 100% if you had a dog. 100% it never changes, bro. I don't care what it is. You got dogs that are handicapped. My homeboy got a dog that can't even walk. You won't be able to tell he can't walk when you walk through the door though. You won't be able to tell it. So my point is saying, yeah, we all have adversity, animals and all of that. All I'm telling you is that there's something about the human person that should learn from animals. I'm just telling you, especially a dog. And I'm not talking about women, I'm talking about in general. If we start to pour into people, not just your woman or your man, but people. Like I do you. What's up, bro? You good? This and this. How you doing, man? You good? How you doing, bro? You good? How you doing? You called me. How you doing? I'm just telling you, that is the dog mentality while I'm wagging my tail and I'm also congratulating you
Look over
every
history.
move that you're making. Woman, I'm gonna go and talk to any woman, whoever it is, and be like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, especially if I'm proud of you. I'm not gonna wait till you dead and tell me, let me give you your flowers. I'm gonna give it to you every day that you talk to me. And that's what a dog does. It make you feel good even when you don't.
And you look over history, bro. If you even look over history and look at older men, like old men, they always got dogs. Older men that never had dogs before, because they know, because the reciprocation of the love. Because women just go, you just go through a whole routine. It's just the old folks stuff. All right, there she is. Yeah, she sleeps in that room. I sleep in this room or whatever.
I don't want to do that.
My dog right here.
I'm so tired of people telling me they coexisting inside of that house. I'm not doing that.
No, me
I'm not
neither.
being married to someone. I'm
Me neither.
sleeping downstairs and you sleeping upstairs. I'm not doing that.
Me
Sleep in
neither.
another
That's the
house.
norm in relationships.
Me neither.
Nah.
That's not. So listen,
Sleep in another house, man.
I think we had a great conversation.
Yeah.
This is the men's edition. We had fun. We talked about politics. We talked about relationships. We talked about a couple of things. We're gonna bring Quinn back and DC back. You know what I'm saying? Make some noise, please. So you know what I was in with some improv. So my brother is one of the best singers, as you know. So since this is called Let's Talk About It, we're gonna close with Everybody Like a Party, yo. And I just want you to sing one of my favorite songs that he always sing, Kevin Cameron, Can We Talk? So we're going out with that. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We gotta clap that thing up. That's how we end it. Welcome to Let's Talk About Jazze. Faye, you close this show while Quinn go kill it. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jazzy Fizzle of, Quinn in the building, DC's in the building, KC's in the building, TZ, Javon, of course, and myself, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it, baby. Hey, this is just the beginning of something great. I feel like this is opening up something in me that is going to take me into, finding my queen, I believe, or queens.
Hey,
Who knows? Let's talk about it. Y'all just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? And remember, You know what I'm saying? Always shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars. Oh boy.
Let's go, Quinn. Come on. Boom, boom, boom.
And just like a baby, I could not talk. And I tried to come closer, but
Could not walk.
and I dream of you every night.
Hey,
And I just could not get it right. Oh, if we ever come close again, I know what I'll say then, baby.
can we talk
Can we talk?
for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk
Can we talk?
for a minute? Girl, I want to know
What's that
your
bridge?
name.
What's that bridge, Jazzy?
One last chance with you again.
What the?
I
Hey.
will not let it go.
Oh, baby.
Give me just one more
Let's talk about it. Can we talk about it? We'll talk later. See y'all next week. Boom, baby.
Yeah.